What's good, football fans? Back at you once again with another video. And it always feels good to get on here and make one of these videos after a win. And anyone that's been a fan of this team for any amount of time already knows the team doesn't do that well in the last however long in prime time. It was really good to see them come out and do their thing on Monday Night Football. And Jayden Daniels did the damn thing. Early on, there were a couple things I think he missed, but man, he had one hell of a game. 21 of 23, 254 yards, 2 touchdown passes, a quarterback rating of 141.7. And he also had 12 rushes for 39 yards and a touchdown. The talk coming into the game throughout the week was that we'll get the ball more to Terry McLaurin, and that's what they did, and, it paid off. That said, let's just hop right into the film. Watching this offense week in and week out, you definitely can see some progression. As I said before, there were a couple plays where I thought Daniels missed a couple of things early on. And this play right here is one example. I think he was watching Brown going across the middle here and sees that there's a couple of defenders eyeballing him across there, so he decides to not go to him, and instead he decides to roll out to the right here. And it was clear he was trying to keep his eyes on Brown here. As the play went further, you can see a defender here is closing in on him. Now, I'm not going to point out check down Charlie over here, but he is there, and I'm not going to point out this guy over here because, well, there also was a defender there. But I believe that that's Ekeler coming out of the backfield, who has a step on his man as of right there, who still has a step on his man as Jayden is fleeing the pocket right here. And mind you, the line of scrimmage is somewhere around the 40-yard line. And right here is where Ekeler turns back around at the 10-yard line and starts looking. At that point, Jayden has clearly committed to it, to being a runner, and almost blows by the defender, quite honestly. If he hadn't have tripped up over his own feet right there, this play could have gone quite a ways, actually. He could have scampered down that sideline for quite a pickup there. And if Ekeler would have seen him coming, chances are he actually might have gotten a block down the field, because Ekeler was in position to be able to maybe drop a shoulder and spring him a little further. So I'm definitely not beating up Jayden for doing this play right here. The kid looked almost brilliant Monday night. He looked really, really good. Reminded me a lot of his college days. But yeah, he just trips up over his own feet right there, it looks like, or I'm not certain really. Just he was going 1 second, the next thing. It doesn't even look like the defender ever touched him. Watching it back from this direction, you could see that, yeah, he was definitely watching Brown across the middle there. And he had an eye on this man right here coming across the middle too. I think that's Zach Ertz right there he had an eye on. But at the last minute, he decides to take off with it. And somewhere in the turf right there, he trips. Had he not tripped right there, I'm telling you, I think he probably could have gone quite a few yards more, probably at least another 15 yards. Watch it back in real time and get a chance to see it moving on its own. As you can see, I think, had he not fallen, this could have been quite a pickup. Another play here where I think, like I said early on, maybe he missed a couple things. This one right here, I'm not really sure why he decides to bring it down, but as the play starts to progress, you can see they run a mesh concept over the middle right here, and it frees up both men, honestly, in short stances. Obviously, that's not what their eyes were on. Their eyes were a little bit further across the middle right here. And there is the man right there that they wanted to hit on this play. And Daniels is looking right at him, I might add. And, as he takes off, a couple of other guys spring open as well. But, at that point, obviously, he's committed to being a runner. But I'm not certain why he didn't whiz that ball across the middle. I guess he may have thought that the defender might have been able to pick him off right here. But, he did have a couple of other guys that were committed, but, he has the defender here and the defender here. So he could have hit this guy physically and could have hit that guy physically. Maybe could have lofted one to that guy, but this guy's definitely open right now. But once he commits to being a runner, there's not much of a hole for him to try to make anything out of. And I do think he makes it back to the line of scrimmage, but I'm not 100% sure. It appears like it's pretty close. If you watch it back from this direction, you can see that Jalen's eyes peel over at Luke McCaffrey almost instantly and then work his way back across. And he just decides to take off. Now this one right here is a well-designed play, and they got the matchup they wanted with Luke McCaffrey coming across the middle on a linebacker, and he makes the best of it, and he damn near makes this a touchdown. He was just a couple of steps away from getting that across the pylon. And if you watch this in real time, I mean, this play right here, you couldn't ask for more. 4th down and 2 on the 32. They need a couple yards. They call the right play, and then Luke McCaffrey hauls in the pass and then almost gets the touchdown. This thing was damn near a thing of beauty. It was real close. It was still a really good play. Watching it back from this direction, you could see this was a really good pass by Daniels, and his eyes were peeled on Luke. This was definitely his play from the get-go. And yeah, really good play right here. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of this in the coming years right here. Now, in this play right here, Daniels froze a couple of different people at a couple of different times in a couple of different places of the field. And I know that he's definitely saw one of them, but he didn't choose to pull the trigger on what should have been probably the best one. I'm not even certain if he saw him, because he was rolling to the right side of the field. But off to the left side of the field over there, you definitely can see a man that has a step, and he's right here. And then when you look back across the field, there's another man that kind of has a step right about right there. Keep in mind, the line of scrimmage is somewhere around the 45. I think originally he was probably trying to dump it to Terry right here, and the defender played Terry really tight on that, so he ended up deciding to just hold it in and run with it. And he gets the first down, so I have no qualms about it. He makes a dynamic little move too. Look, I'll let it go in real time up there. You see him do a nice little spin right there and stay in bounds, get a couple yards, and then go out of bounds, which ultimately is the best thing you could do to protect yourself, which is what I've been screaming for the last couple of weeks, that all I want to see is this guy trying to take care of himself. That's it. And the defender right there chasing him probably made him, choose the path he chose. He had an eye right there on Ertz and decided to not throw it because of the defender right here, being in his line of sight right here. So I actually can't blame him for not letting go of that. He did miss the long man right here, which I think was Sennett. I'm not 100% certain. It was either Sennett or Luke McCaffrey again, but I think it was Sennett coming across the backside of the field right here. His eyes were more focused on the defenders here pressing down on him, which is actually smart, as I said. And then that quick little spin move there, that was the thing of beauty. That was definitely something that was, it gave him the ability to be able to get the first down. Perfect pass by Jayden here, hits the man in stride where only the receiver can get it, down at the ground, first down. These little quick hit, drive extenders are things of beauty. This is the kind of thing right here. This is something that can separate the teams that can consistently get first downs and win football games, and the teams that can't. Just as simple as that. Now, let me just say, first of all, that I thought Troy Aikman was a little harsh on this particular play of his calling, saying, oh, he missed one on that one. I think, quite honestly, he did what he had to do because there was not much protection here, and he had to get rid of it, and he was clearly not ready to get rid of it. But the defense was clearly not ready for Terry McLaurin. This was definitely a touchdown pass that was meant to be, and this is one that I am certain that he would have seen this morning as he's going through film, and is definitely kicking himself in the ass for, or kicking himself in the ass at, I should say. You can't really say for, because it's just a split second decision. He has no choice, and the kid almost pays the price for stepping in there and trying to make that pass. The defender gets up in there and makes a little bit of contact, doesn't really full-fledged nail him, but there's no doubt in my mind that this would have been a touchdown right here. And when you see it from this direction, this is probably the reason why Aikman gave him so much hell up there in the booth, was because he didn't see it until the last second and then let it fling. I'm still not going to give Jayden that much hell, because to me this one's on the line. If they could have held him just for a little bit longer, or made it to where Hendrickson couldn't get in there for just a little step further, maybe this is a touchdown pass. Something tells me this McCaffrey kid is actually going to be better than what his draft status was. That he was just underutilized where he played college ball at. He has a sure set of hands, in my opinion. Not to mention, from a lot of the film I've been looking at, it appears like he runs a pretty crisp route, and he has the ability to get open. A lot of times he hasn't been seen when he's been open, but he has the ability to get open. Now, this play led to positive yardage, but he definitely missed a man across the middle right here. And as you see, the linebacker is in a spot where there's nothing he could do correct here. He's going to miss somebody. There's two players coming across into his area, and he has to defend someone, and it leaves this man right here wide open. Jayden, I believe, is looking up top up here at this guy up here because he appears to be turned that direction, but he definitely misses this man right here coming across the middle. And there is a linebacker in the vicinity, but he's following this receiver right here, as you see right here, who also had a step, but had another defender between him and the quarterback right here. So I understand maybe why he didn't hit this man, but this guy right here, clearly he missed him. When you see it back from this direction, it's clear that the play wasn't drawn up for Jayden to look back across the field over there to see that man, and so he sees the lane to run and he takes it, and he gets, like I said before, he gets positive yardage, and he does a pretty good job of getting down to the ground without taking a hit. They got him with a shoestring tackle right there. Now here we are, the Terry long ball. This play right here was a thing of beauty. And I think that the best thing about this play, not only was he able to let go of this and get a humongous gain out of it, but there were other players on the field that were open, So when you look at plays like this and then you see other players on the field open as well, it makes you love to play that much more. You see how well it was drawn up. You had a couple check down routes up here that were definitely workable. You had a guy across the middle right here he could have hit. And then, of course, the ball to Terry, who we all know has the type of speed to be able to run up underneath of a ball and get it. And Jayden knows how to throw this long ball. So it was just a matter of time before they got this play right here. I actually expect many more of these. And as you can see from the way Jayden was looking, there was never anybody else in his mind of who he was going to throw this to. And once he saw what he needed to see from Terry, he let it go. And Terry's able to get up underneath this thing and make a hell of a catch. He almost got a touchdown there. They set this one up perfect. All night long, they've been giving the ball to B-Rob up the middle. And, this one right here, he pulls it in. The defenders on the edge over there, they bite on it hard. I mean, they thought for sure the ball was going up the gut. And then Jayden just kept it. Touchdown. I liked what I saw out of this play right here from Noah Brown, who definitely saw this play deteriorating from a standpoint of, Jayden not seeing anything and maybe having to press something here with a lot of defenders in the area. And he changed what he was doing and came back to him in the route. And Jayden hits him right at the goal line or right around the goal line. And he gets hit and knocked down. I believe it was inside the 2. But on plays like this is where you see the growth of Jayden's game at the next level. Stuff that he did in college, but things, were kind of, he got a little bit labeled as a guy that looked to run first and not necessarily look for the throw further down the field. And in this play right here, it was quite the opposite. He definitely thought about running, but then he kind of curved outward right there and thought to himself, let's see who's open down here. And he finds his man. This kid is brilliant. He's able to process on the move of which play, is the better probability, the bigger, yardage gain. And I'm going to tell you, during most cases, he picks the right play when it comes to what he can gain yardage on and what he doesn't. And as he gets older, I feel like that'll probably just get better. Honestly, I'm not surprised, though. Ever since I started watching this guy's film, I've been completely blown away at not only his athletic ability, but his football know-how and his football IQ and his ability to get out there on the football field and get it done. So it's not that he's just an athlete. that can play football. He's a football player who's a really good athlete. All right, so who won their money on Jayden Daniels' first NFL touchdown being Trent Scott? I'm willing to bet that there's absolutely nobody out there that made that bet at all. I mean, what sane person would? What I like about this right here is the end zone dance afterward by the lineman right there. Probably never thought he would ever get that chance, right? I mean, that's a lineman's dream right there. A touchdown? What? Again, another play where you could see some growth from Jayden at the next level. He doesn't like what he sees from the pocket, rolls out, and on the run finds his man on the comeback. And yeah, nice, pretty play right there. Watch it from this direction. I don't really think that he ever was really thinking as a runner right there. If he hadn't have, been able to find a man downfield, I think this would have been either a throwaway play or he would have ran out of bounds. Okay, so a few minutes ago, his first NFL touchdown pass. Right here, his first NFL slide. First of all, I was impressed with the way that he made the defender miss on the edge right here. I mean, that defender right there had his ankles broke times about 3 on that play right there. He really thought he was about to get something and I'm sure was getting excited in the moment. And Jayden broke his heart and then knew there was nothing else he could do, protected himself, slid. And it's important to point out, this is something that he has vocally said that he's not really all that comfortable doing. So there's that. Looks like he did a pretty damn good job of it to me. Now let's play right here. When Jayden gets to the top of his drop, you could definitely see that he did not like what he saw from the original play and decided to try to break away and saw a lane. And I believe if somehow or another those two linemen right there maybe could have seen his visual plan, maybe they could have helped out with his plan, his lane. And as it turns out, they didn't. His idea was to go out to the outside out there. There was another man out there on the outside kind of guarding that area. And as he went to go turn right here, the defender catches him. All in all, that's about, I don't know, probably about 11-yard run to gain about 3.5, maybe 4. Another pass here to Terry McLaurin, and I'm going to let you know, this one right here, just a little bit too long, and this would have been a touchdown. I mean, he just a little bit too long. See it back from this direction, you can kind of get a feel for it. I mean, it was far enough to where Terry tried to extend, and he was nowhere near it, but, it was just a little bit too far out there. Close, though. Great play call, great play design, great execution on this play right here. You get that man right in the open part of the field right there. Boom, hit him. He gets down, first down. Zach Ertz has become the security blanket. I hearken to say that he was in Philly. And for Jayden Daniels, that's important. That's something that he needs. If Zach Ertz picks his block up here and does his job as he's supposed to, this play right here has wheels, and it could have possibly gone for quite a good gain right there. But with this missed block right here, this thing almost ends up with our quarterback getting slung into the people in the sideline, which is definitely a dangerous situation, and we don't want to see that. Again, you can see Ertz miss his block right there. And I'm not trying to say that that's the easiest block to make, but man, that play really gets destroyed all by 86 missing his block. Watch it back in real time right here and you'll see. See right there, he completely blows his blocking assignment. More and more examples of Jayden progressing to being more of a on-the-move passer, which is what I already envisioned him being. In the first couple of weeks, it looked like, he was trying to get his feet underneath of him, maybe trying to get a little bit more used to, the playbook and the players and everything, as far as his surroundings go. And right here, he keeps an eye on the play all the way as it develops. And as he moves the pocket, which probably makes this play open up because the defenders start keying on him, Terry opens right up on the field right here and is able to pick up this first down right here on third down. Just a thing of beauty, in my opinion, right here. This is what I like to see on third down when you're trying to drive down the field and kill, the clock on a game and put a game out of reach where you can win. I was surprised that the Bengals didn't get at the quarterback a little bit more than they did, actually. But looking on on paper before this game, they got a couple of edge rushers that are actually really good at getting at the quarterback. And to be quite honest with you, our offensive line the last couple weeks has been a bit shaky. So I was wondering how many sacks they would get, but this was just a really good play by the defender, although I would hope that our linemen can do a little bit better job than this. I know that Hendrickson is a really good pass rusher, but I really want us to get to a point where we're able to stop these guys from doing stuff like this. Man, Diami almost gets his freaking head knocked off on this play. Watch this in real time, which, I mean, the play was able to pick up a few yards here, but the defenders were able to just scope it out and just, I mean, might knock his head off. Watch it from this angle. You can really see it. Look, wow. My Lord. Now, where Zach Ertz is not the greatest blocker in the world, he's really good at catching the ball in plays like this right here in the middle of the field where you need him at. Now, this is important for a young quarterback who's searching for those first down markers, and you got a guy, a veteran, coming across the middle of the field right here who he's starting to feel comfortable with, who is shorthanded, able to pull it in and move the chains. All right, so that beautiful Terry touchdown. And honestly, everything came together on this play. Jayden stuck in the pocket back there, took the hit, by the way, and delivered a beauty. I'm not sure we could have asked for much better pass. I mean, as you see, though, he stands there. He's not afraid to take a hit. He's already shown that this kid is not afraid to take hits. He stands in there, takes the hit, slings a perfect pass. Terry should be given a lot of the credit here as he's able to just blow past the defender right there. Go up and make this catch. And not only make the catch, but get a foot in, fall to his knee, keep that ball in his hands and make the catch, because that's the big thing nowadays I say nowadays, that's the thing in the last couple decades. When you make a catch, you got to make the catch. And a lot of times, I mean, defenders, receivers, all of them, they're not even certain what the catch is anymore to be able to make it. So when you see a guy resoundingly make the catch, it's always a thing of beauty. As I said, Jayden stands in there, tosses up a beautiful pass. This guy has a great fade pass. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. It's pretty. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Now, look, guys, I would be completely lying to you if I told you that I wasn't on cloud 9 over here in left field somewhere, Like, you can't tell me nothing right now. This kid is off to an unbelievable start. He's by far the best rookie this year. I don't even think that anybody could even argue that point. I feel like they have brought him along in the perfect way, with a lot of screen passes, a lot of short stuff, a lot of stuff to guys coming out of the backfield. Some of the things that I would say he's quote unquote struggled with are not that big of a deal. I feel like he's definitely getting used to a little bit more of taking care of himself. I feel like that's something that the coaching staff is probably going to focus in on him during practice on. I feel like him and Zach Ertz and their relationship is something to keep an eye on. It's starting to develop. And him and Terry being on the same page and connecting for points is a sign of things to come. And it's a sign of something that we want to see, a connection with these young guys that can get this franchise kick-started. Folks, this is what we wanted to see, progress. The reason why I showed a lot of the stuff in the first couple of games was because I wanted to be able to show the progress when we could actually pull it off a tape and say, look, this is them doing better. And yes, I know Cincinnati hasn't won a single football game this year. They have some issues on that football team, just like Washington still has some issues on theirs. Folks, there is some greatness in there that's ready for all of us to see. As he gets better, the whole offense will get better around him. It wasn't a perfect game, but it was a pretty damn good one from a guy in his third start. At any rate, do me a favor, guys. Reach up there and hit that thumbs up button. And if you made it this far in the video and you're not subscribed, man, hit that subscribe button. I don't know what you guys are waiting for. And if you guys have been subscribed for a while and you haven't already, hit that notifications button, ring that bell to let you know every time I upload a video. You're missing out on probably seeing every video I put out. Having to depend on the YouTube algorithm is a sticky thing. At any rate, let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. Y'all take it easy. Peace.